All right. Hello and good evening. It is June 23rd, 2024, and we have a Sunday night live session for you guys getting started here. Looking forward to this one. We see a market pulling back. We're going to take a look at that. Current events definitely continue to pick up, accelerating throughout this year as we anticipated, as we've been preparing for, as we've been praying for, as far as to protect us and guide us and get us through this storm that we find ourselves in the middle of, folks. Let's get tapped in right now. If you can do me a favor by helping me share out my content far and wide. It's a Sunday night live. We're going to get parked up here, setting up shop, covering financial markets, current events, and the greatest transfer of wealth in world history with a focus on cryptocurrency, digital assets, XRP included. As I titled this episode tonight, XRP is ready. I'm going to refresh the chat. I want to see how everybody is doing this evening, and I really appreciate you guys for stopping by. Without further ado, I want to get right on into it. You guys already know that all of my community resources are available at zachrector.com. Every single day we're showing up for you. Going to keep it coming, and hang in there. I know it's been a ride, but we got a lot coming our way. It's looking good from a fundamental basis. From the technicals, we've been warning about it. This is your Bitcoin chart right here, down 13%, nothing new. During this bull run, we have seen 13 to 20% pullbacks. Basically the standard every so often here as we've climbed up a historical run for Bitcoin, hitting an all-time high before the halving. If you look at these vertical lines on my chart here, this was the solar eclipse, I believe it was on April 8th. We watched the eclipse energy come in, and it brought the markets back down actually into the Bitcoin halving. It already got pumped, and this was back in March. And remember, the Bitcoin rally leading up to the ETF going live was pretty substantial, about 100%. For Ethereum, it has not been as strong. This is when we had the local lows climbing up to the most recent highs of about 4,000 for Ethereum. We only achieved about a 40% pump off ETF hype for Ethereum. That's it. Now, is Ethereum done this bull run? No, I don't think so. But is it done on the ETF hype pump? It very well could be. Back down to 3,400 right now. We'll see. It could definitely get a moonshot on the day of, which is exactly what happened for Bitcoin, going all the way up to 49,000, nearly 50,000 when the ETF went live. But then remember, we warned about the sell-off, the buy the rumor, sell the news event. Bitcoin crashed to 38,500. You guys already know that deal. For XRP, it's a base that is just so solid, so boring, and we're at a price level that just kills almost every XRP investor, if I'm being honest with you guys. Look at this thing at 47.5 cents. The 50-cent mark is such a huge psychological number for this community, and for any crypto project for that matter, right? Your basic rounded off numbers are huge psychological numbers, but in particular for the XRP community and what we've had to go through and the dynamics on when folks picked up their bag. A lot of people break even. A lot of people are at a loss. And for the people that are at profit or are in profit, like myself, doubled up roughly, rounding off. I haven't checked my dollar cost average on XRP lately. I focus on how many have I stacked. And I just, am doing everything I can to earn more, working my butt off to just be able to buy more XRP. When it is time to make some trades this run, I'm just going to probably look to acquire more XRP as well. And that even means selling XRP, which is funny because we have the lawsuit, right, with Brad and Ripple in California right now. All of the class action lawsuits were denied, but basically one class, not a class action, but a securities violation, California securities laws. That's what's at question here, as the one case is going to proceed to a trial. But that Ripple and the legal assassins are absolutely about to run through this guy who should be ashamed of himself for filing a lawsuit against Ripple when he only lost a couple $100 or something stupid. And he wants to blame Ripple, and he wants to say that Brad wasn't long. And Brad sold some XRP, so that must mean he's not long. No, Brad's incredibly long. He still has a bunch of XRP. Ripple and everything they're doing is building a use case. They've brought tens of billions of dollars of volume onto the XRP ledger. This is just one player. So this is something that you're really not seeing in other ecosystems from an institutional perspective. And it's only getting started with a lawsuit that we're breaking free from, with utility coming. And I just dropped the AMM tutorial earlier today. I hope you guys saw it. AMM tutorial. Did you guys watch it? Let me know. I want to hear from you guys. What did you think of the AMM tutorial today? I could have done a little bit better job editing and making it a little bit tighter. But I wanted you guys to actually see me making mistakes. Like, I tried to deposit all at once and I didn't have enough XRP. And it's really just because these are assets that are very volatile. And so I had to reduce that amount, but I figured it out. It took me a second. And I did clip out that part. But I kind of showed you, oh, I made a hiccup here, but I still got it done in 30 seconds, literally. So it's that easy. It's that simple. And a lot of what's been released on the XRP Ledger, you guys know me, I'm not going to play around and do that dance. I'm going to call out the BS when I see it. 99% of crypto and even the tokens on the XRP Ledger are crap, right? We can dismiss. But we are going to see legitimate issuers, and you want the best example of that, it's going to be Ripple with their stablecoin coming to the XRP Ledger, issuing real-world assets, tokenizing things of value that actually matter, and bringing liquidity, volume, trading between these assets, bringing more access to these assets. We're talking about tokenizing everything. You guys already know. I don't need to repeat myself. But this perfect moment that we've now reached in this XRP thesis, while the market's coming back down and everybody's wondering, are we going to get sued next? Oh, did the consensus letter mean that my meme coin has clarity? Yeah, it probably does, right? This is what everybody in the spaces is saying these days. It's absolutely ridiculous. Even Martin Shkreli out here making a joke of the cryptocurrency space, right? Don't get me started. So it's nuts out here. And I'm going to show you actually a couple statements on Solana that are a little bit spicy. Yeah, that's right. I've been known to be critical of Solana, and from the very beginning, I've always said it's a VC pump and dump, FTX little dog and pony show for everybody. Put a tattoo on, what Mike Novogratz got, the Luna tattoo, right? These guys really created a beast in Solana, and they pumped it up. They've been pumping it up with celebrities. That is how you pump a token. But the problem is, how will it last? Will it last? And how many securities laws were broken in the process of all these celebrities and artists? And I forget, I don't even know these people, right? I'm not even really tapped in on the pop culture anymore. Iggy Azalea, who was some of the other rappers and stuff that have been launching meme tokens and just doing all sorts of crazy stuff. And it's brought billions of dollars worth of volume to Solana and their DEX, which sucks. Which is another reason why I showed you guys in real time the AMM tutorial, so that you could see, even when I make an error, even when I have a little hiccup, it still goes through in 3 to 5 seconds. For a doofus moron like myself that's not tech savvy, a few clicks away. And you can start with a little amount. Practice makes perfect, right? And so this is the thing, guys. I'm not basically making an XRP Ledger AMM tutorial so that everybody can just ape into all this crap. I don't want anybody aping into crap. I want you guys to invest in assets, in liquidity pools that you have done due diligence on, right? When it comes to any token, we need to be serious about what we're throwing our money at. When it comes to these liquidity pools, we need to understand, what you've exposed yourself to. You've sold both assets. I was reading the comments from the video earlier today, and people were asking, is this a taxable event? Yes. I'm not an accountant. I'm not a tax professional. Go speak with yours. You should have one. But if you ask me yes or no, yes, it is a taxable event because you've sold an asset and you've swapped it to something else. And when you go to swap back into XRP, from the liquidity pool tokens back into whatever assets you put in, whether that's XRP or issued assets, that's another taxable event. So yes, you are going to complicate your taxes. I tried to just put a video out on how to do it, but I'm going to be dropping further follow-up videos on the AMM and just on XRP Ledger DeFi right now, because folks need to understand that the opportunity's here to start playing with these assets and really, to become a farmer. That's what I'm going to call it. We all want to be farmers. I like being a little farmer too. Go out there, throw a little seed in the dirt, put a little water on it, tend to my garden. And I had 2 little spike bucks that wiped out my garden, well, at least my strawberries this year. Got a little, strawberries rocking and rolling, and they got cleaned out by 2 little bucks. I saw the 2 little bucks in the yard today, and we scared them off. Said, not today, guys. That's what we're up against. We're battling it on all fronts. But the point being, we all want to be able to generate yield with these assets. It's very simple. Sustainable yield. We don't need 500%. We don't need 1,000%. We don't need to get crazy with it. Give me something sustainable, please. And you're seeing that the credit market's actually finally paying again. Now, what kind of risk do you have to expose yourself to? Well, that's the whole thing. Every time that you're investing in these, you're taking on some sort of counterparty risk. So once again, understand the risks, understand your risk tolerance, make sure you're doing due diligence, and more to come on the AMM and XRP Ledger DeFi. It's here, and I want you guys to be able to generate yield in a way that's sustainable, in a way that's more secure than what we're seeing on all these pump and dump schemes throughout the rest of the space. Once again, what is sustainable? I don't want XRP to get pumped off of hype. I do, right? Ripple did the early campaign with Ashton Kutcher where they sent him to Ellen and he transacted $4 million worth of XRP in 3 to 5 in 3 seconds on Ellen's show. I think that was a good deal of marketing. I mean, did it really relate to price action? No, but we got to get the word out there. I believe that more money should be spent on marketing. Obviously, I have a bias, but I'm someone who doesn't even take checks for sponsorship deals. I just have my affiliates and my community resources at zachrector.com. But I understand I have a bias, but you look across the board, these projects wonder, why does nobody hear about us? Because you're not showing up every single day on the platforms, on social media. You're not being seen. Many of them have no marketing campaign or no budget at all. And even if you don't want to give your money to Ashton Kutcher or you don't want to give your money to me, I'm probably not going to take your money. But I've always had the open invitation. If you're building real utility on the XRP Ledger, you're welcome on my show, free of charge. I don't want tokens. I don't want anything. I'll interview you. I'll show my community. If I like your token, I'll go buy some. And I've done that with a couple, Casino Coin, Reaper, couple others. That's it. But all of that to say, guys, that we're watching a lot take place that's ready to distract you. That's the shiny object. The grass is greener over there. And we're seeing, many people are, it's tight, the struggle, the economy, the silent recession, and the jobs and the data really starting to confirm what we've been warning about. Something that's not fun to talk about. I'd rather talk about the 100x coins, but I find that it's valuable for us to have a full encompassing understanding of what's taking place in our financial markets, in our economy, in our current events, and then what the heck do we do with our money? Most importantly, how much can you stack? And then secondly, if you have a big enough bag that we can actually start investing, and we want to be able to start investing as soon as possible, but we have to be honest with ourselves first and foremost. And we have to be honest with ourselves when we're looking at this economy and asking ourselves, are we still going to have a job? What's going to happen to my small business? I'm going around seeing what's taking place out here on Main Street. It's not looking pretty. So my firsthand eyewitness account on the ground, it's not pretty. When I look at the data, it confirms my thesis. And they're doing everything that they can to cover this up. And I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw this. This is the economic calendar for the economic data coming out this week. So we're going to keep you guys updated all this week with all this data. But I couldn't believe myself that we get a second revision to GDP coming up this week, guys. Take a look at this. This is for Market Watch. On Monday, we have a couple Fed speakers. Same thing on Tuesday with consumer confidence and the Case-Shiller Home Price Index. Good real estate data. New home sales, we'll be covering that. Initial jobless claims. Absolutely. The range has actually trended up from our most recent levels. It's trending up right now on the jobless claims. And then we get a second revision of GDP. Remember, the first initial reading of GDP for Q1 2024 was 1.6%, which was way lower than the over 3% GDP for Q4 2023. Our GDP got cut in half. And then they revised it lower the first time around to 1.3%. Now we get a second revision and we get to see how they can manipulate it from here. Now, it's going to be interesting to see if it actually drops down even lower. Now, remember, the official technical definition of a recession is 2 quarters in a row of negative GDP growth. We haven't got that since Q1, Q2 of 2022. We also get pending home sales coming up on Thursday, and we're going to get the PCE, personal consumption expenditures, I believe, something like that. Personal income, personal spending, consumer sentiment. Yeah. So we'll be covering all of that with you guys. Once again, big week coming up. Here's the 12-hour news recap from Mario Nafal. First off, U.S. warns Israel Iron Dome could be overwhelmed by missiles. This is a study by Reichman University found Hezbollah could fire up to 3,000 missiles a day for 3 weeks, aiming to collapse Israel's air defenses. Wow. After Netanyahu repeated his claims that the U.S. is slowing arms shipments to Israel, the White House refused to comment, choosing instead to focus on Gallant's upcoming meetings with senior U.S. officials. The cities of Saki and Yevpatoria were hit by Ukrainian ATACMS missiles supplied by the United States. We saw that. Some new homes in Texas now come with pre-installed Tesla solar roofs, power walls, and wall connectors. Yeah. I don't know how big of a news story that is when we got bombs going off, but sure, yeah, we got Tesla panels on the roof. The good news about that is you know what they need for the solar panels, right? That's the good news about that. So yeah, sure, throw them up all over the place. Sounds good to me. Deadly attacks in Dagestan, Russia result in more than 15 police officers and several civilians, including a Orthodox priest. Yep, deadly attacks in Russia. Thousands of fighters from Iran-backed groups in the Middle East are prepared to join Hezbollah in Lebanon if the conflict with Israel escalates into full-blown war. This Hezbollah in Lebanon and Lebanon versus Israel really starting to ramp up right now, guys. Both sides preparing for full-out war. The ongoing conflict between Hezbollah and Israel has the potential to escalate into a full-blown war. Hezbollah claims to have more than 100,000 fighters and signals potential support from fighters in Iran, Iraq, Yemen, Afghanistan, and Pakistan. I am praying for peace right now, I'll tell you that much. Cheers, everyone. It's heavy these days. It's heavy. The rhetoric, strong. Lebanese religious leader, we will drop 500,000 missiles on Israel. Folks, Israel should expect 500,000 missiles in a destructive capacity that will take it 70 years back. They're all talking tough. They're all talking tough. This is typical, and we're seeing this. The problem that I have is that we have so many skirmishes across this planet, and with such a volatile, fragile market, all it takes is one little deal for something serious to pop off and for the ripple effects to be felt. And I'm not saying that in a joking manner. I mean, literally, this world economy that we now have is so interconnected, and we're watching ongoing attacks from every single level. Commodity, currency, cyber, ongoing attacks from every single level, and it's only going to pick up throughout the rest of this year. Just look at how many elections are actually happening across the planet this year. Pretty incredible. Kabesi letter. For the first time in 4 years, the U.S. unemployment rate has crossed above its 36-month moving average. In previous cycles, every time this has happened, a rapid spike in jobless rates followed. This has also coincided with the economy falling into a recession. The unemployment rate has been in an uptrend since April of 2023 and is up from 3.4% to 4%, which, remember, was the Fed's target for the end of this year was 4%. Here we are in June. Well, actually, that's May's. We're already there. In May, 5 months in, already there. So once again, just like the Fed said that inflation was transitory, we're just raising the rates a little bit, and they raised them at the fastest pace in history. And now, right, the unemployment targets was, well, we're watching it, it's fine. We're tolerating this right now. We understand that tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of people actually are being laid off, but it's one of the sacrifices that we need to make to, rein down inflation. So yeah, we are going to lose a few million jobs. That's kind of been the rhetoric from the Fed, and the target for unemployment was 4% at the end of the year. We're already there. Begs the question, when is the Fed rate cut coming in? And you got people all over the place saying that there's still going to be 2 rate cuts this year. The bond market's pricing in no rate cuts this year now. You guys let me know in the comments down below. Are we going to get rate cuts this year? Now, should we get rate cuts? Well, no. In fact, don't get me started, but we shouldn't even have a Federal Reserve. We shouldn't have the Fed setting the Fed funds rate. We should just let the free market set the rates, actually. We shouldn't even have a Federal Reserve. Don't get me started. But the Fed, in the current position that we're in, if they continue to mess this up, Main Street gets wiped out. And this is what we've been warning about for the past 3 years. Ever since Trump left office and we had new powers that be and a new agenda, we watched how inflation really started to ramp up. And yes, it was great for the stocks. Yes, it was great. Everybody was getting checks at home and everybody was feeling happy and flush with cash. But we knew that this was the lag effect of inflation. And once it's present, how hard it is to rein back in. And we knew that the Fed wasn't going to actually be able to do what it actually took to beat inflation, right? They've been pretending like they're actually fighting inflation while really just getting it to cool, even by their own words, their own admission. They've only got inflation to cool. And that's why they're still saying, hey, we might not be able to cut rates later this year. Now, I was just up in Canada this weekend. They already cut rates up there in Canada, and it ain't going to bring much relief. Their market's already in free fall from the real estate, their economy already wrecked, and cutting by 50 basis. I think it was a 50 basis point cut, 0.5%. It ain't saving the average Canadian. It might be helping out some people that need to refinance debt, which is actually many Canadians don't have a 30-year mortgage program like we do here in the US. A lot of them are on 5 adjustable and much shorter term loans. You see, we're privileged here in the United States, not just to have the U.S. reserve currency status, but also with, our 30-year fixed rate mortgage. That's a product that's not seen across the world. 1.5 million Americans have lost their full-time job in just 6 months. Guys, see, this is what I'm saying. This is why I was calling it the Fed. What they did was they rug pulled Main Street. The stock market's still going up. The rich that control the stock market and the assets and all of the equities, their bags continue to go up. Their portfolios continue to go up. Their mansion, that went up to $10 million, now they might only be able to get, 7, 8 million, but they bought the sucker for $1 million back 10, 20 years ago, right? So they still have some equity there. They still have a bag there. You get my point, right? But Main Street, middle class, poor, we are the ones that are being sacrificed right now by what the Fed has done. The trend on unemployment, not good. Initial jobless claims, not good. What can the Fed do? Well, they can cut, but historically what we've seen, remember, is by the time the Fed actually does cut, that's when the markets actually come back down significantly. That's exactly what happened. It took them 1 year to recognize that we were in a recession that started in 2007. They didn't declare it till 2008. And Danielle DiMartino Booth, former Fed insider, she's sticking to her guns that basically they're going to backdate the recession to October 2023 based off the jobs and the real unemployment data that's continuously being revised, just like I showed you with the GDP. We get the second GDP revision for Q1 2024. Now let's get into crypto, guys. Let's talk Solana. This is from Crypto Bitlord, who, he kind of puts out some troll stuff. So I don't know how much value to put on this, but it begs the question. He says, we are hearing rumors that Solana is under investigation and a huge case is about to become public. This has been brewing for weeks now and couldn't come at a worse time. If what we heard is true, start praying for Solana. Now, I see a 5 spot in the comments from my good friend XRP Blinder. They intentionally changed the frequency of everyone's life with coordinated headlines of fear. 1000%, brother. They don't even have to be true. Stay peaceful in mind. And that's the point, right? Is that they're going to be late. When they give you the news, it's already late. It's already too late to make a move. You already should have been prepared and seen it coming. But by the time that they actually deliver you the news, it's late. And at best, it's a half truth. And most likely they've put the spin cycle on it to make you have that frequency of fear 100%. They want us all running around like chickens with our head cut off right now. And believe me, guys, I feel guilty of being right there. It's chaotic. And that's why for me, the focus is just bringing order to the family, bringing order to the business, bringing order to my community. What can I control? I got my community here where I live, but I also have this blessed opportunity to be able to reach out to hundreds of thousands and millions of people with a message of positivity, resilience, and just a fact that we know so clear what we're fighting for. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness on a level playing field. It is that simple. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness on a level playing field, God willing, and it's a demand. We're not asking, it's actually something that we're demanding. These are God-given rights. Now, back to Solana. You guys let me know in the comments down below what you think on Solana. What is up with Solana right now? We are seeing that the price is back down today, but you guys tell me where the lie is in this one too, from Evans6 on X. Let me take a sip of my adult beverage too. Cheers, everyone. Happy Sunday. Hope you guys had a blessed weekend. Solana was a highly calculated and meticulously planned operation to synthesize a crypto asset hype cycle to allow its backers to recoup their losses, protect themselves from lawsuits, and extract speculative capital from the crypto industry. And the great way, the best thing that they did with FTX is they gave money to both sides of the aisle, right? You're covered. You have insurance no matter who gets elected, who gets thrown out. You've covered your butt on both sides by paying off both sides of the aisle. That's exactly what FTX did. The bull thesis for Solana was that its backers would have to pump it to save themselves. That's what we've seen. Anyone who bet on Solana at $8 based on this thesis is a genius. Anyone who bet on Solana for the community or real projects or casino thesis is, well, I'm not going to say that word, and got lucky but was wrong, right? That's why Solana is dumping to zero. Like every other meme coin, Solana never had true upward reflexivity because no real capital ever wanted it. All of Solana's appreciation was calculated momentum ignition by backers with the cash to guarantee an attention-grabbing pump. There won't be a Solana ETF because it's not a real asset. Solana was a fake chain inflated by SBF to cynically steal the industry's capital in the original low-float, high FDV scam, and its resurgence was a fake hype cycle to recoup losses for the rich backers that SBF fooled. Tell me where the lie is. Tell me where the lie is in that one, okay? Chris, my friend, man, it's been a minute, Chris. Appreciate you coming through. Appreciate your NFT there. That's good. Little PFP. That's cute. $100 super chat with the hashtag God wins. God bless you, my friend. Thank you so much for the love. Over 1,300 in the chat tonight between YouTube and X. We're live on both. Sunday night session. This is how we do it. This community's so strong, so resilient, and we will not relent on our values. That's what's going to get us through. That's what's going to see us, get rich or die trying, right? That's what's going to get it. Speaking of 50 Cent, our XRP, golly, we can't even hold 50 cents right now. But the good news from Forbes, and I love this, guys. Forbes has been just crazy with the clickbait, man. It's crazy. People say I'm a clickbaiter. Yeah. I try to only engage in ethical clickbait. You guys know the deal. But Forbes is just crazy with it. Leak reveals crypto is braced for a huge Biden flip ahead of Trump debate that could trigger a Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP price earthquake. How many times has Forbes Digital Assets used earthquake in the title? See, that's crazy, man. It's like, okay, I get the clickbait. I get the hustle. I respect the hustle. But how many times are you going to use earthquake in the title? I've covered, what was the last one? $17 trillion earthquake, right? And how far that they stretch in these articles to bring in the hype. I already read this as I was getting ready to come on live here tonight. I already read this article, and basically they have this crazy headline title, this crypto earthquake. And basically all it's based off of is the fact that Biden might mention crypto. They're already acknowledging that Trump's acknowledged crypto, and that's part of it. But they're saying that Biden might mention crypto, but then they go on to say that it actually is probably not going to impact price. It's like, wait, what? You said there was going to be earthquake, and then in the article they specifically say there's probably not going to be that much volatility. It's like, bro, come on. Who's writing this? Billy. It's Billy. Come on, man. Billy Bambro. Is that his real name? Senior contributor to Forbes Digital Assets with the earthquake titles. Come on, Billy. I love this space sometimes. This space is crazy, man. Here's the thing, though, guys. It's coming front and center. That's why I wanted to share this article with you, is because I wanted to share my point, which is basically front and center in our rhetoric now in this country is crypto, right? Where folks are trying to figure out what's Bitcoin, what are NFTs, what's digital money, and a lot of people just interested now in investing in currencies and just, where most of our population was truly dumbed down, didn't care. We were all living the American dream. Now, because times have gotten a little tough, folks are starting to figure out, wait, what do I do here to actually survive what we're going through? Whether that's investing in digital assets, whether that's investing in precious metals, whether that's starting your side hustle, I better figure out something because they are lying to us. They are lying to us. And the traditional 60-40 portfolio had its third worst year in history just last year. And then the bond market had its worst year ever. So the traditional financial place to invest is in the equities and in the bonds. You do a little diversification between the two, and you live the American dream. You buy yourself the white picket fence, you just go work a nice, simple, cozy job, and you're set. They flipped the table upside down, and we're no longer on any sort of level playing field. The playing field was tilted towards America, though. That's the point that Americans don't get. Is the playing field has been tilted towards America, and we've abused our reserve currency status, and now the rest of the world's fed up with our crap. And now, even the traditional financial world's coming into cryptocurrency digital assets, even though they know it screws up their whole business model. It screws up their whole system that they've created of controlling where Americans park their investments, their 401ks, their pensions. And that's why they're in a rush to be the first for the Bitcoin ETF, the largest inflows for any ETF in history into the Bitcoin one. This is why we just saw the last week, there was about half a dozen firms, including BlackRock, Fidelity, and others, that updated their filing for their Ethereum ETF. It's a race to the new system. It's a race to the new system without basically breaking any laws. And if you are going to break laws, you just want to make sure that you're in the pocket of the regulators, like we've seen with Consensus, Ethereum, and the SEC shenanigans, right? So it's not too big of a deal if you're going to go that route, as long as you're covered, as long as you got that note in your pocket. And of course, we're watching the ongoing show here with Ethereum and Consensus. Now they got the letter. So free pass round 2 for Ethereum. And the best part was the rest of the space thinking that that was some sort of clarity for their meme coin. This is the level of stupidity that still is present in this market. There's still incredible speculation in this market. And I am going to be patiently waiting for XRP and the thesis that I hold for it to play out until I see utility fully activated in a post-full clarity world, where regulations have been set in the United States and many of the other broader large financial markets, which are already ahead of the United States. We're basically falling behind. And when I see regulations set, laws on the books, everybody understands the rules of the road, and then utility starts to pick up from there. And I start to see the institutions that wanted to dip their toes in the water, but they were scared to, now fully dive in. Once that plays out, if I held on to the wrong hand, which in this case is XRP and a few other digital assets, and it ends up being something else. It ends up, the whole world runs on Dogecoin. I'm just making a stupid example. If we're at that point and the world has chosen Dogecoin, that's fine. I'm wrong. I lost money. The Dogecoin millionaires can have a good time, and I'll try to be friends with one of you guys, maybe. That's fine. But until we see regulations intact and in place, and the utility present, and institutions from the top down, everybody, retail has clarity, all the way up to the biggest institutions in the world have clarity. That is when I'm going to take a temperature check, a vibe check on my investment thesis on XRP. Until then, I'm going to stack up a lot. Okay. And I already have, and I'm going to continue to. And if you missed it earlier today, I dropped the XRP Ledger AMM tutorial. I see a super chat there from Dennis123 with the 5 spot. In a 2018 Twitter post, Stefan Thomas said ILP and XRPL can now handle trillions of TPS. Does nobody know this? Dennis, we do know this. I've actually mentioned this many times on our show here. 100%. I appreciate your super chat. Appreciate you for mentioning this. On the central bank side chains, the private chains that Ripple has created, they've already touted hundreds of thousands of TPS on those side chains. So on side chains, you can put a lot more transactions through. And then on Interledger Protocol, they've touted trillions of TPS going back to 2018, like you said, 2017. So I'm not worried about scalability. That's not a concern for me. And when you look at the traditional Visa, MasterCards of the world, they're only doing 2,000 transactions per second on a regular basis and can do about 20,000 max. And so where we're on track to go will easily surpass that. Easily. Okay. XRP Legend says, Zach, I missed XRP Las Vegas. Can we do a summer XRP? Man, we need to do another XRP event, that's for sure. I love the in-person meetups. But this is what I'm talking about, guys. The utility starting to build on the XRP Ledger. This is from yesterday, from Vet. Huge shout out to Vet. We reached a milestone yesterday with the equivalent of 20 million XRP in total value locked up. So what this means is if you take all of the XRP and all of the issued asset tokens, you combine them, all of the XRP Ledger AMM liquidity pools together, it was equal to 20 million XRP, and yesterday we were at 50 cents. So basically we had $10 million of liquidity provided. Guys, I cannot wait to look back on this years from now. I was listening back to my video on the AMM earlier today. I was listening back to it and I was just thinking to myself, I'm going to come back to this video and I'm going to be laughing at these numbers. Oh, 10 million in our AMM. Oh boy, we're just getting started, right? Meanwhile, right, we've already seen Ripple's already moved 80, tens of billions of liquidity through the XRP Ledger and on-demand liquidity. And so what we're watching right now is our AMM start to build up here. And we just hit 10 million, which is nothing, right? But we're starting to shine because our ledger just works. It's so efficient. And for the most part, the retail, the speculators, the gamblers, the degenerates just don't even know that the XRP Ledger has these features. And so the beautiful thing is that these features are present for the degens and for the retail, which look at a coin like Solana, which with the combination of VCs pumping it, celebrities pumping it, and retail traders and speculators dumping a bunch of money into it, it sent Solana to the moon. It sent Solana to billions of dollars of liquidity going through their DEX on a daily basis. That's incredible. That's really impressive. But there's nothing stopping us from achieving the same thing on the XRP Ledger with a combination of VCs ready to pump up XRP, institutions ready to use XRP. Ripple has plenty of money and cash to market XRP. They could go pay Ashton Kutcher to go do Ellen again. They could go pay all these celebrities too. they're probably going to do it in the legal way and not create a token, but just have them do an ad campaign or have them, go on Ellen and send 4 million XRP or something, But they also have the money to give away in the grants and build out this ecosystem too. So I'm not discounting that either. Remember, they're embracing the bottom-up approach as well. Now, someone says, you're not a real DGen if you're not in XRP NFTs. I don't own any XRP NFTs yet, but I'm looking forward to getting in on the NFTs in a massive way. In fact, I'm actually a big supporter of memes coming to the XRP Ledger. It's not my investment thesis for XRP going to a higher price, even though it would equate to that. It would participate, help achieve that. But my main thesis, like I said, is that institutions are going to want to use this ledger to use and send, tens of billions through on a daily basis, right? So, but there's no reason why we can't do both. And that's the beauty of it. And this is why I'm trying to get the word out right now on the XRP Ledger DeFi, the NFTs, the AMM. And of course, I got to put out and try to be the responsible one that puts out a disclaimer and a warning. Don't be full degen. Don't take all of your allowance money and throw it at a meme coin, right? But, we got to take a look at this thing because legitimate issuers are starting to show up. Ripple's setting the standard for stablecoins. Many other institutions and legitimate issuers are showing up to tokenize other assets on the XRP Ledger. And we're finally getting the tools to actually do things with our XRP. You have to understand, we didn't have these tools available. This is why most of the folks in crypto that are degens and playing around don't come to XRP, is they just we haven't had them for the last decade. XRP's always been around, which it's kind of hidden in plain sight right now. It's there in front of you, but folks are more interested in Mickey Mouse memes. It's right there in front of us. So I cannot wait to go back and look at the video I did today, this moment right here, where we finally hit $10 million in our AMM. We're going to have tens of billions. There's a potential for trillions to flow on the XRP Ledger and be tokenized on the XRP Ledger. And it's not just me saying that. The Archax CEO saying that 30 to 50 trillion could flow on the XRP. It's not me. Don't take it from me. And I really believe that this Ripple stablecoin is going to be one of the bigger inflection points for the XRP Ledger and for XRP itself, because it puts Ripple at the forefront of helping the United States maintain the reserve currency status, which is one of the most valuable things. I think that we can agree that's probably one of the most valuable things that you could do for the central bank and for our government and United States of America as we know it. Now, we believe that you're also going to see some aspects of gold backing this new system as well, right? What's interesting is gold is just now gotten into price discovery against the US dollar. It's already broken out against others, but it's finally just done for against the US dollar. And we're finally starting to see assets like gold and others get tokenized on the XRP Ledger as well. The thing that's really going to move the needle, though, is the ability to trade in and out of these assets. The reason for me why I want to see tokenized gold on the XRP Ledger is so that I can get access to a derivative, which is essentially what an issued asset is on the XRP Ledger. It's a derivative of whatever the issuer is claiming it is. Now, the issuer could be claiming that, hey, my Mickey Mouse meme coin is just a Mickey Mouse meme coin with no value. Okay, that's the derivative that you're buying. You could have another institution tokenizing gold on the XRP Ledger, which there was just another company that said they were going to do that just a couple weeks ago. And they're not the first. They won't be the last. Reaper with Ascension's also doing something with tokenizing gold and silver on the XRP Ledger as well. But the point being, the advantage is the ease of access. Instead of having to go down to the dealership, instead of having to, place an order online, you could just go to the XRP Ledger and in 3 seconds, boom, you buy access to gold, you buy access to silver. The main thing that we've been waiting for, though, is legitimate issuers that can show up, issue an asset, issue a claim, and we can actually trust them. And, you know, who's going to be the top dog to issue tokenized gold on the XRP Ledger? Who's going to be the top dog to issue real estate on the XRP Ledger? This is what I think about. This is what I'm looking for investment opportunities, not just in tokens, but in companies that are, you know, going to use the XRP Ledger. The companies that are using the XRP Ledger, they have the ability to, you know, use XRP, store XRP on their balance sheet. They have a similar, you know, view on XRP as us. I think this is going to put us in a unique position when, you know, the price is right now hanging out below 50 cents, but the price is 5-10 years from now. There's just nothing that I've seen that leads me to believe that we're not going to be at a much, much higher price for XRP. There's nothing that I've seen that tells me that we're not going to be. Ripple doesn't even have access to enough XRP to dump on us to do that to the price of XRP, in my opinion. Now, it's just my opinion. I know there's a lot of people that think that it's going to be suppressed forever. What's interesting to me is if it's been controlled for this long, what's stopping it from being sent up to a much higher price all at once? The other thing that I've talked about in the past too, there's nothing stopping Ripple from setting a price on XRP, in that they can set a price on the XRP coming from them and coming from the escrow. Meaning, now this is kind of crazy, but I want you to run through this with me because it shows you how interesting this situation can get for XRP price. Basically, if Ripple decided, hey, from now on, we're only selling XRP at $2. They just decide that that's going to be the price tomorrow. Going forward tomorrow, we're setting our XRP at $2. Because they have so much of the XRP, they actually can do that, and they can set the price on their XRP. They can't set the price on my XRP or your XRP, right? But if they did something like that, what would that have as an effect on the price of XRP? If the market got to know, wow, Brad Garlinghouse just told us, you know, basically that we view XRP more valuable than today's markets, we're not selling any more XRP. You know what's interesting is that they've only been selling XRP in accordance with on-demand liquidity as well. So they aren't just dumping XRP on the market at today's market prices, almost as if they themselves believe that XRP will be at a higher price down the road. Otherwise, why would they not just take the billion per month and dump that billion per month every single month? They haven't been doing that. They've only been selling 200 to 300 million XRP, and it's only been for on-demand liquidity, which basically just moves in and out of XRP to US dollars and other currencies through these corridors that they've established with their partners. It's just XRP that's being used for its utility as intended. Tens of billions of dollars of liquidity already flowing through there. So right now, market's pulling back. I see a couple super chats. Let me get to that real quick. We got a 10 spot from The Rational. I can't read the rest of your name there, my friend, but I appreciate your 10 spot. When XRP pops double digits, this will be my song. It's been a long road. It's been a long road getting from there to here. It's been a long time, but my time is finally near, and I can feel the change in the wind right now. How about that? How about that? We're going to be singing a song, aren't we? Dennis123 with the 5 spot. If they give it all away when the SEC case is over, it would pump the usage and price. The problem with giving away the XRP is that usually people who receive something for nothing dump it. And that's what we've seen with a lot of their giveaways. And when they go to do the grants, if they give them XRP, a lot of the times that project needs cash. They need some sort of other currency. So that can actually equate to more sell pressure. This is why I like the fact that they're looking to give it exclusively to institutions that are going to use it for utility, liquidity, treasury management, or just put it on their balance sheet. And that's the big kicker, is when it gets revealed, see, it doesn't have to be all this crazy. We don't have to overthink it. All it takes is one institution. And as a matter of fact, we already have that one institution in R3 that said, hey, we would like 5 billion XRP, thank you very much. And we'd like to do it on a 3-year options contract that allows us to execute 5 billion XRP of purchases at sub 1 penny. Would you like to have a piece of that deal? Now, the deal went sideways. They settled for 1 billion XRP, but the point is, that's an institution that wanted to eat up 5% of the supply of XRP. Do you think that they're the only institution? Do you think that they're the only institution that wanted a billion XRP on their balance sheet? See, this supply equation with XRP starts to get very interesting for me when I run through some of these hypotheticals. And of course, a lot of people call us crazy. Oh, the XRP cult. You guys think all the institutions are going to use XRP and pump your bags? We're watching it happen in real time. Our investment has grown over the years, despite folks thinking that, it's over for XRP. From a fundamental basis, it's actually getting better and better. Stu, coming through. Stu, appreciate you, brother. I hope we're all strapped in. July, everything all at once. Stu, I think it's going to get spicy for sure. The Rational Trucker, that's what it was. The Rational Trucker, I see you. Hey, Stu, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Good to see you, brother. Let's do some more Q&A. Drop your comments, questions down below. I'm trying to see if I can read YouTube and Twitter. It's always hard for me to pull up the comments on Twitter. So if you're on Twitter and you can't get your questions through, you could try YouTube. Let's see what else is cooking on. Yep. If you guys haven't already, please make sure you follow me on X. Appreciate you guys for that. Looks like we got 1,200 on X and about 400 on YouTube. Appreciate you guys for tuning in on a Sunday night session. We are only at the 51-minute mark. I'm going to run it up for another 10 minutes or so. So drop your comments, questions down below. If you appreciate our content, please help me by liking this video, helping me share it out far and wide. Let's do Q&A rapid fire. Let's bring it. Appreciate you guys. When will I be able to end my ramen diet? Man, I tell you what. That's why I'm growing it in the garden, is so I can, get a little bit of fresh fruit. We went the other day, there's some raspberries nearby, and we picked, just real quick, a couple minutes, but it's like $5 worth of raspberries, right? You get a little container. It's like $5-6 at the store for good organic raspberries. Thank you very much. I guess money does grow on trees. See, I'm farming it in every single way, guys. I'm throwing seeds in the dirt. I'm doing the AMM. We're looking at some other investments too that are going to pay off big dividends as well. And everything that I've done is, as far as investing in myself and my business, has paid off massive dividends as well. It's all farming. It's all building. Building cash flow. And I'm just looking for the basic stabilized yield. I don't need anything crazy. And that's what's coming to the XRP Ledger. Any thoughts on Bradcoin? I think it already had its moment. I doubt it will go much further. Memes just don't do as well in the XRP Ledger community. It's just a fact. They just don't sell as well. Our community's just not as interested. And that's what I was thinking about earlier today. The amount of XRP that I deployed earlier today in my XRP AMM tutorial was 50 XRP, and I forget how many of the magnetic token. And I was laughing because I'm thinking, man, you do the math. You look at it, XRP at $100. Did you really, just send that much money to some liquidity pool? And we'll see how much we end up making. But, playing around with 50, 100 XRP, and if we ever get to these higher prices, it's going to be funny to look back and be like, man, I literally just threw, $5,000 at this project because XRP's at this price right now, and what I thought was just 50 XRPs now, $5,000, 50,000. Yeah, I'm actually not farming Meg as far as their platform. I mean, I'm still trying to understand their platform. I'm reading through their white paper today, going through their website. I'm still trying to understand their platform because I don't think that I'm doing farming. What I've done is I've added to the XRP Ledger AMM liquidity pool between Magnetic and XRP. I think that the farming is something different. It's similar. It's just adding to their liquidity pool or something different. Maybe I already am. I just can't wait until I don't have to work 80 plus hours a week. The Crypto Keeper, I feel you there, my friend. 100%. 100%. Yep. And really the only reason why I've, settled down on some of my work is literally only family. I used to work 7 days a week, but I say that here I am. I don't consider this work though, right? This is what I love to do. But I used to work 7 days a week. I mean, I still do work 7 days a week, but I set up shop here after I put the family to bed, say night to everyone, and then go get a late night session in, right? And the beautiful thing about this is what I'm excited for is because a lot of people in our community aren't lazy. They're not going to make a big bag off their investments and then just, sit on the beach and get fat. I mean, some of us probably will, and I'm going to try to watch my dad bod post moon. Definitely going to try to. But what I'm excited for is folks being able to deploy 80 hours of work towards running their charity, towards running their business that employs a bunch of people. Basically putting your time and your energy and your resources towards what you love. That's what I'm looking forward to. Towards making an impact. That's what I expect from our community. I know what the other crypto communities do. And I know we're going to see some of that nonsense in our community as well, too. Even Chris Larson has the Porsche whip, which I think is a big waste of money. Chris Larson's Porsche. I'm not a Porsche fan. I'm just not. I like the old ones are kind of cool. The old classical Porsches, I can respect it. The new ones, I'm not really into it. I mean, I heard that they rip and I heard that they drive pretty good, but come on, man. The $1 million Porsche whip, come on. I could spend $1 million on something else. I'm not really that big into cars though. I'm not a huge car guy. I can respect the cars, but no Porsche whip for me. I'll probably still be rolling my F-250, getting my utility. That's what's important to me. I want to be able to haul whatever I want. If I want to haul a load, if I need to move something. The SUVs are nice. Yeah, the Porsche SUVs, yeah. See, I just went with the basic. I went with the Ford Explorer for wifey's rig. I did get the ST though. I wasn't gonna do a minivan. Our family wasn't gonna be a minivan fam. Even though I did rent a minivan and last time I was in Colorado a couple years ago, rented out a Dodge Chrysler minivan, and that thing was nice. I actually did enjoy myself in that. The what is it? The shotgun seats or whatever they're called. Really liked that. That was a nice setup. Had all the bells and whistles, and it had a V6 in it, so it did have a little get up, a little minivan get up. But yeah, I want to get the SUV just because. Yeah, I want to get something that wasn't going to break the bank, but was comfy and safe for wifey to drive the goods around in. Right? Peaky, thank you for that one. Boo Ford. Yeah, I know some guys don't like the Ford. Yeah. See, I got two Fords. I'm an American. What can I say? Even though I know they're not the best, I'm a value investor. Peaky with a 20. Shout out to my buds Stu, Shan, Brendan, Daryl, Antlin, and all others who aren't here. I miss these run-ups with you all. I hope we all stay in touch when things pop. Zach, that's when the real work starts. Big things. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. That reminds me is we got to talk about the next meetup. I got a plan here cooking. And I'm going to have to talk with you guys about that next in-person meetup for the Discord group going down. Absolutely. Love you guys. Well, I'm going to wrap up this session, folks. Like you guys know, everything is at my website, zachrector.com. You guys came through tonight. It was such a massive session. We just ran up over 1,700 people between X and YouTube, and I couldn't do it without you. Your continued support means the world to me. It's at zachrector.com. It's that thumbs up. Let's smash it. Let's tap it. Let's do something with it. I'll let you guys make a meme. And I appreciate everyone for stopping by. Have a fantastic Sunday night, and we'll see you in the next one. God bless you all.